Did I just lose myself? We usually give a full year for the recovery, right? So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I need to probably unload him. I want to unload James Conner. I'm just gonna reject it. I don't want to. I really don't want to move on.
I just proposed what I proposed because I think what's going to be accepted. You know,
But see,
like
I think Amon's worth a first, right? He's worth 2 million for the next 2 years. I think he's worth a first round pick. I don't think I should be selling him for Brees Hall in a second, especially with Brees Hall being hurt. And I'm giving away James Conner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see who can take on James Conner's contract. Minnesota, the Wankers, Only Thick,
how much
Ravens,
is it?
San Diego, 15 million. So we go to where's Minnesota? All right, we'll go to Marty's Wankers. Dude, I will throw you James Conner.
I tried doing a trade with him, and he said no, even though he had a bunch of gaps in his lineup.
He has a shitload of picks. Dude, I would take a second for James Conner.
Nah, that's what you should. That's like late first, second for him.
Get
Are
you a
we?
top tier guy offer. We are live.
We're just going through Myers' fucking league
Who else did I just say?
casually.
You know, I'm using the boys for good. If he
Your
takes
team picture's funny.
who else can handle it? 49ers, Only Thick Boys. 3-eyed Ravens, but he's being a douche and won't take it. And San Diego. So let's see if we can get San Diego on
I'm pretty
board.
sure the Niners don't even have a win, so I doubt they'll give away a pick.
Dude, they're right on the cusp though. James Conner, and guess what? I'm gonna push this guy for a late first. And sorry, I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna go with San Diego.
Team QB Minnesota to the Goblins.
I mean, if you want them, dude, look at that value. 440.
I'm saying. Even though if Justin Fields plays like he did last night, I'm fine with him.
San Diego Surf. I'll take that 24 second, please. And you can have James Conner.
Damn, that dude had no picks.
He's about to have less. Other people I'm looking to get rid of. I'd love to sell Perryman to somebody that needs a 4-pointer. I'd love to sell Everett, but nobody really wants Everett.
I don't know why he's been putting numbers up.
Dude, I would sell Everett. What should I sell him for? A third?
That's fair, probably.
I'll send a third.
Got to be an early third though.
Damn. The problem is Lamar doesn't have the room, but 3-eyed Raven has the room.
God, dog, he's paying Robert Woods $30 million.
Yeah, stupid man.
Yikes!
I'm just gonna send James Conner and Breshad Perryman straight up for a first. Fuck it. See what he does.
Worst I can say is no.
Nick did come back with a trade offer.
Did I send more than Breshad Perryman? Oh, Gerald Everett, Breshad Perryman, and James Conner for a first. Whatever. If that goes through, that goes through.
I should have known that you would have a bunch of offers out there.
Dude offered a third for fucking James Conner. I don't want that. Maybe I'll hold that just in case he gets.
I swear people are deliberately pricks. They know it's not fair and they still send it.
What? Oh, yeah, look at this, baby. Woo! I beat the Pink Panthers. What a week that was. Who's everybody play this week? Daniel, you are going to get slapped around by the Pharaohs because their team is
That's all right, man.
cooking. I need to win this week. This will be my biggest week. If I can win this week, it'll basically seal my and Eckler's out. Woo! A win this week seals my my division for me. I think. Yeah, because that'll put me 3 games ahead of him. Dang. Dude, this guy has a 5-win streak going. He lost the first 2 and then he cranked out 5. Dan, one more loss and you're officially the all-time leader for losing streak.
I don't know if I'm more curious about Padge going winless in RSO or Trevor going winless in Sigma Nu.
I'm a bot, Trevor.
His team is so bad.
I don't think we've ever had a winless season in the Sigma Nu one.
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
I want to send a. I've looked at trades in that league, and I just skip his team because there's nobody on his team other than Lamar.
Though, I mean, he's Lamar.
He put up 50 this past week, and I was like, oh, he just forgot to set his lineup. No, he had everyone in his lineup but the defense.
No, that's
sad.
I mean, the problem is Mooney wasn't what Mooney was supposed to be. Pitts isn't what Pitts is supposed to be. Chase Edmonds is not what Chase Edmonds was supposed to be. Yeah. That's a sad team. Hey, I finally won in the Big Willie League.
After they've changed all the rules to try and throw you off?
Dude, I was 0-5 with Gino, Kamara, Montgomery, Chase, Hopkins, Hawkinson, CeeDee Lamb, Dalvin Cook, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Hurts.
How did you not have a win?
Because I played the top scorer each week.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
All right, let's get this ball rolling.
All right.
Oh, will you quick thing, will you text Nick and ask him if Ramondre instead of Mostert gets a first? I wish there was a messaging feature in RSO.
Yeah, the only thing you can do at the bottom. I mean, I can give you his number.
Or that. Yeah, just do that.
Okay.
Mears should get compensated for being the middleman here.
Yeah, I'll just take a third.
Skim a third off the top.
You can have a pick swap.
Hey, I'll take that. Let me have
third round pick
we
swap.
We can swap our first this year. Yeah, let me have Bijan.
No.
I'm trying for Bijan in that other league, dude. I want him so bad. Just so I have him. Okay, so big news. DK is not out for the season. That's big. And it's a high ankle sprain for Mike Will, probably 4 to 6 weeks, I would think. I think DK will probably be that 4 to 6 weeks. Both of them will probably not be designated for IR, but keep an eye out on it. Unfortunately, Breece Hall definitely tore something. LCL and meniscal injury. He's out for a good while.
And Njoku's out 2 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, and Njoku going down, that hurts as well. So yeah, let's the James Robinson trade is going to be good. We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, where we thought James Robinson's going to have some value, but I think he's overvalued right now. Because people are thinking, oh shit, we're getting a starter back. So a couple other things we talked about last week. Gus Edwards, he delivered. We told you avoid Kenyon Drake. Gus Edwards was going to be that running back there. I'm avoiding him this week, though. He plays Tampa Bay. They're still top 5 rush defense. Running back wise for free agents, Latavius Murray is now in Denver. Interesting one to keep an eye on. I would still stash Jeff Wilson Jr. and or Elijah Mitchell. Probably Elijah Mitchell because you can keep him on IR because there's always the CMC risk. CMC looked okay. Nothing crazy. We delivered with Donta Foreman versus Chuba Hubbard. Both of them did really well. Chuba wound up being the starter, but Donta rattled off more yards. Keep an eye on those. Malcolm Brown was signed to the LA Rams. Something to keep an eye on, seeing as how Cam Akers' time looks to be done there. But for me, I think Kyren Williams is the more exciting prospect there. Seattle looks good. Jalen Warren with Pitt, and he's still kind of in there. But yeah, that's your running back waiver ads. Wide receiver waiver ads. We don't know what the new quarterback, Sam Ehlinger, in Indy's going to do. Imagine getting a quarterback, paying him $50 million, and then trading his ass to Washington, only to pick up another crappy quarterback and pay him $50 million after already doing that once with Phillip Rivers.
I didn't think Phillip Rivers would be the best of them.
He did. He delivered the most. We knew Carson Wentz would be horrible. Come on. He's the worst quarterback in the league, and Russell Wilson's in the league. Some guys notably on waiver wires for receiver. Looks like we're starting to see a little bit more of who's going to be the guy in Jacksonville, so I probably would avoid Zay Jones. Wan'Dale Robinson's available in most leagues. He's only rostered in 13%. I would probably add Wan'Dale. I like the way he runs. He looks like he's going to be a viable part of that. Avoid Allen Robinson. Tyler Boyd had a huge game. That's what Tyler Boyd does. He has a big game randomly in the middle of the season, and then you pick him up and he'll have like 4 straight sub-10 games. But he has gotten targets. I think his lowest target's been 2 in week 2 against Dallas, but other than that, it's been 5 every week or more. So there's some streamable flexing options from Tyler Boyd.
I would feel like the week that I thought Paris Campbell took back the wide receiver 2 spot for the Colts, I'm starting to think that may go back to Alec Pierce because I feel like Ehlinger would have more of a connection and chemistry with Alec Pierce than he would Paris Campbell.
Yeah, we might see like a Cooper Rush, Noah Brown situation where they just have better chemistry.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to follow. Mac Hollins, once again, had a pretty decent day catching a long bomb touchdown. Don't think he's worth an ad, though.
I don't know.
And Noah Brown, surprisingly, had 7 targets to Michael Gallup's 1. So something to kind of keep an eye on. I know they like Noah Brown there. He's just a gritty player. He's a great run blocker. Interesting things. Dan, you want to talk about Greg Dulcich?
Yeah, literally, if we could rewind this thing, did I or did I not word for word say Alberto's a starter until Greg Dulcich? He first game back, there was not even a warm up, just boom, leads tight end 1 for the team. Yeah, I think what's more impressive is this week he came out and got 9 targets, which actually led the team. And again, produced you. He got you 11 fantasy points, and again, that's all you really need out of a tight end. So kind of keep him on your radar to go forward. I don't think you need to be replacing guys like, I hate to say Pitts, but if you're looking to replace Njoku, Dulcich would be a good one. Dude, I don't know what's up with Pitts. We're not even going to talk about Pitts.
Yeah, we could skip.
All right, so that's pretty good in regards to that. Last week, Deuce had a pretty good week. Deuce is now 62-44 on the season. I'm 55-48, and Daniel is 34-32. It's interesting. He has about 25 less games than the two of us.
Dude, I missed all the games on Sunday again.
I saw that.
You have to be Padge's like personal reminder.
Yeah. But yeah,
but it would have been tragic because half of those games I would have missed.
I'm also a couple games behind however many Deuce has for some reason, because I'm only 4 behind in in losses, but also 8 behind in fucking wins. So it doesn't make sense, but all good. Who cares?
Well, I was super ahead last year, and Padge came back, so I mean, I wouldn't be stressing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about win percentage, really. Deuce is firing at, it says 90%, but 60,
I would imagine that's the percentile, right?
oh, no, because 62 out of 100 is 60-something percent.
Yeah.
And 55 out of 90 is like 60%. So I don't know. Oh, percent is where you are in the percentile.
Right, yeah. So there's only 3 of us, so he would qualifies the 90 percentile.
Well, it's he's 90th percentile of all ESPN users.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
Big facts.
Big dog. You did really well. You had 120 points this last week, so you only missed one game?
I haven't looked to see which one that was.
The Panthers.
Oh,
well. Panthers and New England. So you missed 2 games. But other than that, damn, what a week. Your bets also went 5-0. Huge for anybody following home. Betting wise.
We lit.
Yeah. Damn, I got ripped apart in my early schedule, and then I went perfect the rest of the time.
Yeah. We bumped up to 65% on the year for ATS.
Yeah, that's big. All right, so we've got first game, finally a Thursday night game that looks to be pretty decent on paper. Tom Brady's been reeling, though. I really think with it, Belichick without Brady can't do shit, but Brady without Giselle is even worse. I mean, he looked like a shell of himself. He'll probably retire at the end of this year. I think that was the plan anyways, but now I think it's even more, prominent. Losing to the Panthers after they traded CMC is pretty embarrassing. I'm still rolling out my Buccaneer players, except I am now sitting Tom Brady.
That's fair.
Valid.
Ravens, I'm probably sitting all the running backs. I don't know what happened to Mark Andrews this last week. I mean, he 2 yards on 3 targets. Weird. They were running the ball a lot. Look for that to change. I think Mark gets back into the groove. I'm probably not playing anybody else on that team other than Lamar and Mark.
I mean, maybe Gus Edwards if you're tight, because, I mean, it's like, Tampa, I feel like they also just gave up like almost 200 yards rushing to 2 backup running backs.
Running backs, yeah.
So, I mean,
and it was 7.9 and 7 yards a carry. So,
yeah, they got gapped. So I think if you have odds are, if you picked up Gus Edwards, you kind of, I mean,
what about trading for him and not playing him?
Yeah, that would kind of be a bummer.
Wouldn't that be rough?
But no, yeah. So I think you could, if you're in a deeper league, like a 12-team league, you could probably feel pretty good about starting him.
Yeah, I agree with Patch, because even if he isn't as efficient as he was this past week, he's going to get the high value touches. When they get inside the 5, it's going to be him or Lamar. So
Lamar.
And Drake literally went from, okay, maybe this guy's going to lead the backfield to absolutely nothing. So I think you got your answer in terms of being worried about a committee or anything.
He went from 10 rushes for 119 yards against the Giants for 10 rushes for 15 this week or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Gus getting 16 carries his first game back, I mean, I think that's pretty big.
Yeah. Taking the Ravens. Everybody, I think, is taking Ravens. Yeah. Denver Broncos versus the Jaguars. So the Jaguars almost had the Giants. Surprising thing was they didn't use James Robinson at all. I think he had zero everything. Now, I don't know if that's because they'd already made the trade, but they couldn't have because the deal, like Breece Hall hadn't torn his ACL yet. So I don't know why they weren't using him unless they were actively shopping him.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, they're actively shopping him. Didn't want him to get hurt. I find it funny though. They spent what was he? Wasn't he like a 5th round pick? And then they sold him for a 7th or a 6th. It's like,
yeah, I think
he was undrafted.
Was he undrafted?
Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah,
okay.
I think it's a 6th that can be a conditional 5th if he runs for 600 yards.
Okay, so it does get better. I was like, why would they give him for a 6th? That sounds terrible. I like these conditional things. I wish RSO would have conditional. I put conditions on everybody.
More ridiculous.
This will be a first number 1 overall if Amon gets 12 receptions. Like, Denver Broncos, Cal Ripken.
Russ is questionable, but apparently he's expecting to play.
Well, then I'm going to go Jaguars because Russ.
I'm going Jags either way.
How does your backup outplay Russ? I did talk about it a little bit earlier. Keep an eye out for Latavius Murray. He will probably be the starter. For some reason, they hated Melvin this week. Weird, I think, for me. I don't know.
I'm convinced they have no idea what they're doing.
No, John Lynch or
they need to fire their head coach.
Yeah, it's Hackett. Yeah. I don't think it's Lynch is with the freaking 49ers.
Elway's I don't know what Elway's doing.
They need to fire.
I think he's in a reduced role in comparison to years past, but
yeah, he did because he stepped out of the GM position and now he's just like operations manager or some shit. But whatever's going on, they are not.
It's the coaching and Russ possibly being washed.
There's no way, though. I watched Russ last year. This is not the same Russ.
That's why I said possibly. I mean, I don't know if it's the coaching, him or both. It's hard to tell.
The O-line. But, I mean, you can't tell me that, like, I don't know.
Matt Ryan wasn't as bad as he was last year, and now he's benched, so.
But how much that's the shoulder injury?
I mean, when father time comes for some people, it's just.
Same thing with Brady, I guess. Brady was pretty. Hell, he led the league in touchdowns last year, and now he's. But that's also he's not getting jerked by Giselle. He needs a slump buster. I would be hesitant playing a Denver Bronco player.
I mean, odds are if you have Cortland Sutton. You probably feel obligated to play him unless you just got better options.
Yeah. Better options, I would say, would be Christian Kirk on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That man had some targets. Finally, he's back to looking like their number 1 guy, which means this week we may not know. Marvin Jones also played pretty well. ETN looks like he's going to eat. I will say, keep an eye out on Snoop Connor. I think he is now the official backup to Travis Etienne. Snoop season.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Rippin plays, I would rather play Judy. If Russ plays, I would rather play Sutton. And I think you could play Dulcich no matter what.
Greg. Panthers.
I'm going Jags.
Yeah, I'm going Jags as well. Panthers, incredible win over Tom Brady. I'm interested to see what they do this week against Atlanta. Atlanta rushes the ball so much. They threw it 13 times, 8 completions last week. That is no fantasy value for Pitts, Zacharias, or Drake London, and it's very, very sad. I hope that doesn't continue. I want to see them at least get 20 throws a game so that you can get 10 targets towards Drake London. But as for now, I'm kind of hesitant with that team.
It just doesn't make sense because they were down by 20 points most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 20 in the first quarter and never threw. They threw 2 passes a quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, give me the. I don't want to pick the Panthers, but it looks like PJ Walker's doing pretty decent. I think I'm going to still go Atlanta. But I think this is just going to be a run fest. Both teams are just going to run the ball. I don't want any Algier or Huntley. I don't really want any Chuba or Donta Foreman. I mean, if I'm you, I'm trading them while their value is high off of a 150-yard game because, I don't see that continuing. They are backup running backs. It's a terrible line. I'm trading those boys.
I think I would rather hold on to Foreman because at least he's shown the track record to produce. Chuba, I would be fine with selling high on.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Algier just because of the volume he's getting. And I'm fine with playing Foreman. I would need another week of I would need to watch this week and see how DJ Moore does before putting him back in. If he does well again this week, I'd be fine with putting him in next week.
Yeah.
Depending on the matchup, of course.
Yeah. And we talked about last week, we said he was a very big buy low target because somebody there has to catch the ball. I think you saw a little bit of reward of what he can produce. I still think he's a decent buy low target. If you can pry him away right now, it might be good. And if he gets traded to somewhere like Green Bay, then you just made a steal of it, because he's going to get open wherever he goes. So,
Paj, what you think, man?
I'm gonna go Panthers.
So they're definitely losing. Good shit.
Right, probably.
Literally, I think in the 2 years we've done this, every time you've picked the Panthers, they've lost.
Yeah, and I really won't. I feel like that every time I pick the Panthers against the Falcons, they end up losing. So, but this year the streak is broken. Panthers win.
Do you want them to keep winning as a Panther fan, or do you want them to tank and get a better pick?
True. No. You want them to lose.
Right, because
that's the strategy. That's why he's picking them, because he knows when he picks them, they lose.
Right,
Yeah. But, I mean, that's kind of the Panthers' problem, right? They've been in that 15 range for draft picks for the last, 10 years, and it's like other than Cam Newton when they picked 1 overall and CMC when they picked 5th.
Unless you were just utterly convinced, which odds are most of these teams have done a decent amount of homework on the quarterbacks coming out.
Yeah.
Unless you are just heads and shoulders feel better about Caleb Williams or
Hinder.
What's his face at Texas?
Yurts. That's the best I could pronounce it. Quinn Yurts.
Yeah. If Ewers, if you're convinced that they're going to be way better and you want to wait 2 years on a quarterback, unless the Panthers are like, okay, we want one of those guys versus the people that are coming out this year, then I think you have to shoot for.
You got to tank. I mean,
the top pick,
and it needs to be. You don't have to go out and intentionally lose, right? But I think the big thing when you're trying to do a tank like this is play your young guys, right? You have Matt Corral. Is he back yet? Play him.
I think he's still hurt, but I get your point.
Obviously, you keep DJ Moore in, but put some of your young wide receivers out there. Let's see what Terrence Marshall has. You drafted him early. I don't need to see I don't need to see what Laviska Shenault can do. I know what he can do. Put in the other guys and let them play. Defensively, look, Jeremy Chinn's great. I want to see what else I've got. I know what Brian Burns is. Let me rotate some of these younger guys in. If they miss plays, they miss plays, but let me get them experience because you're not winning this year. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is getting better for the future. So play your young guys and call it a day. Bears looked really, really good.
I'm going with the Falcons, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Are you going Falcons or Panthers?
I went Falcons.
Oh, okay, bet.
Bears looked really, really good last week. They were cruising, running the ball really well. Monty ran well. Fields looked pretty damn good. I mean, he was moving and throwing. He had a couple dump downs. That dump down to Khalil Herbert was great. So this Bears team, they've been kind of cruising, so don't sleep on them. I do think this Dallas defense is still a little too good for this Bears team. So I'm going to lean Dallas. But, damn, if Dak doesn't step it up, this Dallas team's looking rough. And I think it's hurting guys like CD. I think it's hurting Dalton Schultz. I mean, these guys are guys you drafted early in retrospect to their position. So, I mean, you need these guys to actually do shit. Like an 11-point game out of CD is not what you drafted him second round for. So I think Dak needs to step it up a little bit. And he looked better in the second half. And I'm okay with the team rushing the ball like they are. No problem there. But you got to see a little bit more. And you're paying Dak $40 million. Let him throw the ball. Mooney looked good.
No. No, yeah, I think maybe the Bears are starting to figure some stuff out.
Yeah. You know who's nasty? Roquan Smith.
Yeah, he demanded a trade. They haven't traded him.
I know, but did you know he leads the league in tackles?
No, but I think everyone here knew he was gross.
Yeah, gross. And then Judah for the Patriots, I was very impressed. He actually is tied with Parsons for most sacks in the league.
Did you see when Carson Wentz though bodied Roquan Smith? Just saying. Probably why he's on IR right now.
Yeah.
Glass man.
Who are they playing? Who are the Bears playing?
Cowboys.
Who?
Cowboys.
Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys.
I don't think you have any need to be worried. Like the Bears just scored 33 points. They're not touching that. So
yeah, but Dallas still can't score. I mean, I think that's the one downside to this team, right? They went from leading the league in scoring 2 years ago to, I mean, they're a bottom 5 scoring team right now. Part of that is they had Cooper Rush. The other part is Dak just hasn't looked good when he's been on the field. So they couldn't convert third downs last week. It's going to be interesting. And then I've said it, they're not the best against a rushing quarterback. So, keep an eye out on that. Dolphins, Lions. Dolphins snuck out a win. That was good. Dolphins, Lions. I mean, they beat the Steelers. It wasn't that big a win. Detroit looked good the first 5 minutes of the Dallas game, and then they kind of they lost Amon early. Apparently, it wasn't a concussion. That's what I just read. It was just precautionary. I love Dan Campbell, but it just is. I just don't think he's got what it takes to beat this Dolphins team. And Tua's back.
I think it should be a good game. I don't know. Like 3 weeks ago, I would have said Dolphins. 4 weeks ago, I probably would have said Lions. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it could go either way.
Yeah, I'd say like I feel like it's going to be one score game.
But that's kind of how the Lions have been, right? So I mean, in most of their games, it's a one score game, or they're with them early, and it slowly gets out of hand. And I'm going to lean Dolphins though. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I think Dolphins just have a slight edge, but also, I mean, Detroit wasn't not with the Dallas game. I mean, the picks were bad, the 4 turnovers were bad, but what really hurt them was Jamal Williams' first career fumble on the 1, so that was kind of tough. But I mean, you take that away, add 7 points to them, and don't let Dallas work it down the field on that possession. it was a little bit closer game than it looked like. So I could see the Lions coming in and messing with the Dolphins, but again, I lean one way, like you guys.
I'll go Dolphins too, and think you could fire up anyone.
Yeah, I mean, the big question mark here is going to be, is Swift available? If he is, I probably wait one more week. We stick to our guns and, the 1 week injury buffer window, and it paid off for Keenan Allen. It paid off for Dak Prescott if you avoided him for the 1 week buffer. So yeah, give him a 1 week buffer to get kind of inclimated back in. Cardinals, Vikings. Vikings are 5-1. Impressive little team. Coming off a bye. Should have their shit together. I like the Vikings here. I think Thielen, Cook, Jets, Kirk Cousins are all startable. Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I don't really have much other to say than that.
Yeah, Cardinals side, little interesting. Looked really, really good. I think it becomes more of a committee when James Conner gets back with Eno. I think you see a little bit more committee because of how well he did. Look for DeAndre Hopkins to come down a little bit. He had a 58% target share.
Yeah, there's no way he sees how many targets again.
Yeah, I mean, he may see, a similar number, but it's not going to be 58% of their throws are going to go his way. So hamper expectations a little bit, but I think DeAndre Hopkins moving forward, I think I said it last week, he'll probably be top 6 from here on.
And I don't like. I agree more so with the hamper expectations on the usage, but not on the outcome.
Right, because you'll add a touchdown and lose 5 catches, and
you legitimately could have dropped one of the craziest games we've seen with the amount of targets that he got. I mean, that was he could have had 3 touchdowns in that game and had 40 something points.
Right. I don't think you're worried about him going forward. I mean, it's going to be there. I just think the target share. I mean, he had 14 targets on 10 receptions, 100 yards. I think he's a perennial 8-catch, 80-yard touchdown a game guy. And that's what we got him for. He does have 3 tough matchups with Minnesota, Seattle, and the Rams coming up. After that, it's 2 easies with San Fran, Chargers. Then he has a bye. 2 decently tough with New England and Denver, and then his playoff schedule is easy: Tampa Bay, Atlanta, San Fran.
Minnesota and Seattle are easy matchups.
According to the numbers, they're not, but
you could throw and run on the Vikings defense. I would fade Ertz, but I would start Benjamin and Hopkins.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're starting Hopkins no matter what. From here,
I mean, Ertz is tight end 3. I would fade him this week.
Okay. The question with Benjamin is, how much is James Conner going to play? Is James Conner going to play? I think it can cut into his role.
Yeah, it just depends.
All right, let's rapid fire some of these. Saints, Raiders.
I'm going Vikings.
Okay. Saints, Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders. I think Waller's going to have to come back a little bit. He's been kind of a ghost. Still a buy low target for me. Devonta Adams looks great, and Renfro will eventually be back at some point. Saints-wise, love Chris Olave. Love what I'm seeing out of Kamara. And Taysom Hill, a must roster.
Maybe.
Just
usage. If you don't have a good tight end, then yeah.
It's worth the gamble because when it pays off, it's 20-something points.
Right, yeah. If you don't have a top 5 tight end, then I think you probably can, Yeah.
I'm going to go Raiders, and Olave and Kamara are the only people on the Saints that I like. Their offense is nothing outside of that. And
Taysom Hill's tight end 5. So
I want to see what Jacobs does against a good rush defense, so we'll see.
Oh, I'm playing Josh Jacobs, baby.
Traditionally a good run defense. Maybe they've been a little bit down this year, but
Jets versus Patriots. Oh, Dan, you going Raiders?
Yep, I'm going Raiders.
Jets versus Patriots. Zappy looks good. I don't know officially why Mac Jones was benched, but he was benched. Zappy came in. He led them pretty decently. Didn't win it, but did good. Jacoby Myers continues to be on a pretty good tear when he plays. Ramondre looks great. Damian Harris is back. Keep an eye on it, but Ramondre looks like the clear-cut starter. Jet-wise, tough to trust any of their wideouts. Only person I would maybe think about is Michael Carter because of the volume.
Yeah, Michael Carter.
The Jets are kind of the real deal, so I'm going to go Jets.
Jets.
Yeah, I want to go Patriots after they just got spanked, but I think they're not the Patriots anymore.
No. Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles. I think Eagles got it pretty much in the bag. They're just too good of a team. Defense, offense, all of that. Probably the number one streaming defense this week because they're getting Kenny Pickett. Only guy on Steelers I like would be Freiermuth. And I'm firing up all my Eagles players. And I think you could even fire up Gainwell.
Yeah. I think do we see Mitch Trubisky again?
No, I mean Pickett hasn't been the worst. He's what we thought he was.
Worst, but he also has not been good.
He's what we thought he was. He's a mid-tier rookie quarterback. I don't know why he was picked first.
I agree with all the Eagles players. I don't know about Goddard. I'd probably stay away from Goddard.
I still think I fire up Goddard. Just volume-wise, I think I fire up Goddard.
I don't like the matchup with Minka and those linebackers, though.
Minka. Titans-Texans. Titans are 4-2 after losing to the Jags and losing week 1. Texans, on the other hand, it's Dameon Pierce and only Dameon Pierce. Nico didn't produce like we hoped he would. I mean, I think he still had a couple points. But
he had like 7.
Yeah. Cooks is still there, but Dameon Pierce is about the only one I want, and that's based purely on volume. Titans, Derrick Henry is the only one I'm firing up.
$150 and 2 tutties incoming.
Colts Commanders. It's funny the Colts got rid of Wentz just to not have the replacement play against him. But also Wentz is not playing. So both of these teams have new quarterbacks, and they're not the guys that they traded around for. Heineke's great for Scary Terry. He's also pretty decent for Curtis Samuel. Brian Robinson looked fine. Also a little bit of Gibson. There was a Gibby sighting. On the other hand, John Taylor, he needed a week. We told you, let him have a week. He actually got about 15 points. Look for him to continue to build that up. Wide receiver-wise, it's tough for the Colts because I don't know what Ellinger is going to do or who he's going to favor.
I'd rather just stay away this week.
Yeah, we might see Mo Alley Cox, but keep an eye out on Jelani Woods, possible future asset. I'm going to go Washington.
Yeah, Washington. I think Heineke should be the starter. I felt that way since they signed Wentz.
I think you wanted Heineke. I mean, I think we all agree Wentz is the worst quarterback in the league. So
the offense just looks so much better, and Terry had that confidence with Heineke in.
Yeah,
I'm going Commanders as well.
Okay.
Well, and also I think, like, to me, if you're Washington, if I could definitely be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that there was a condition on that move that got them Carson Wentz from the Colts. That if he plays a certain number of games, that is a better draft pick. I think I could be wrong on that.
So they're gonna.
So to me, it would make sense that obviously you're not gonna win the division or anything, so just bench him at this point.
I agree with you.
Curtis Samuel did okay, right? But not like he had.
Yeah, I think he had 11 points, something.
You could live with that.
Had he had a touchdown, it would have been a better day. San Fran versus the Rams. I'm going San Fran. Their defense is too good. The Rams still haven't shown me shit. Actually, I'm going to go Rams. No. Let me change it up. Sean McVay needs to figure something out. He had an entire bye week to do it. This is going to be the game where they figure their shit out. They've already gotten rid of the toxic player that is Cam Akers, who we wanted gone to begin with. Darrell Henderson, fire him up. He's going to get 10 receptions out of the backfield. Cooper Kupp's going to be an animal like always. I think we see an Allen Robinson sighting. Yeah. And then San Fran side, the defense is good, but they're still going to try to figure out how to use McCaffrey effectively, and they're still working on some stuff, and I just don't have as much confidence in Jimmy G.
I got to ask you real quick, what makes you think that you're going to see an A-Rob sighting? I would love to know.
I think Sean McVay's going to scheme it up. I think he had this whole week to figure out, okay.
It happens every 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Juju cycle, right?
On the clock.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his last good game was in week 4.
Every 21 years for 21 days, he comes out to feed. I just think they're going to have to – they've been very one-dimensional, right? So they've been either throw it to Cooper Kupp or throw it to Cooper Kupp. And I think Sean McVay had to sit back, realize that, and he's like, shit, we've got playmakers. Let's actually work them open. And I think they try to do that. The bye was probably really good for this team.
I'm going Niners. Shanahan continues to McVay. I've been thinking about this. I might try and sell high on Debo just because I think McCaffrey is.
Didn't McVay beat him in the playoffs?
Huh?
Didn't McVay beat him in the playoffs?
He did.
The record, though. Still check the record.
Who won the Super Bowl?
I mean, the Niners have been to one, too. So.
Yeah. Not with Kyle Shanahan, right?
They did.
Yeah, it was Shanahan. They lost
it was Shanahan's first year?
Something like that. It was early years.
Whatever.
I think CMC, once he gets acclimated more, he's gonna start taking away some of the stuff that Debo does. It's hard. It'll definitely at least cut into it. Like it won't the quantity won't be there.
Yeah, but I think on the other side would be more quality catches, right? So instead of Debo being the focal point, when CMC's out there, he's the focal point. I mean, you line up 10 players and you're probably most worried about CMC out of any 10 players in the league other than, there's not many people I'm more scared of on a one-on-one basis.
I'm just saying, I think CMC affects Debo more than any other pass catcher.
Yeah, I agree. Dan, Rams or San Fran?
I'm taking the 49ers.
That's my boy.
Shit.
I think you have a better chance of seeing a Van Jefferson sighting than an Allen.
Yeah, I would love Van Jefferson.
I agree with that, too.
I would love Van Jefferson.
Even if he doesn't play, I think you have a better chance of seeing a Van Jefferson.
I will mark this. I'll come back to this. Giants, Seattle. The Giants have been severely underappreciated these last couple weeks. They've been the underdog in every game. They're the underdog again. However,
I thought the Giants were favored by 3.
No, Seattle's favored by 3.
Who'd have thought that this might be one of the better games of the weekend?
Yeah.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah, my shit has the Seahawks favored by 3. I think this is probably a game that Seattle wins. Oh, no DK though. The Giants have been winning on a lot of grit from that team, and it's been good. But I think Seattle gets the win here. That's just me.
I picked the Giants and the pick'em, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah. And I think this will be one of those close games again. I mean, the Giants don't blow people out. They've literally been close games every single week. I do think people need to put a little bit more respect on them. I think this could be a pick'em game. I don't think this is a 3-point favorite game.
I'm riding with Big Blue, the G-Men.
I think this is a game where we could see both offenses do well. I would do the over in this game.
Yeah.
I think it's only like 44 too. Like I would definitely.
Aaron Rodgers might be in the same boat as Tom Brady. I think they're both trying to find slump busters, and neither one can find it. Aaron Rodgers just looks,
and he's a bitch. He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones had a hell of a game, but Rodgers has just been mediocre. And I think part of the problem was he started the season like fucking Nicolas Cage. He needs to get out of that shit.
With just the long hair on the sides and the back.
Yeah, he looks like Con Air, Nicolas Cage, like whatever. But the Bills are 5-1. I think the Bills continue to 6-1. Hands down. Look how sweet Tay looks.
Yeah, the 1 week I start Romeo Dobbs, 0.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. He had 2 targets and that's it.
Luckily, the rest of my boys showed up.
Yeah.
0.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy everyone else showed up.
Cincinnati Bengals.
You know who he essentially had the same amount of points as? I could have played Allen Robinson.
Jesus.
We're all going Bills, right?
Yeah, everybody thinks riding Bills. Last one, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns. Browns are 2-5, not where we thought this team was going to be. They do get Deshaun back in 4 more weeks. I mean, but it looks like their experiment for Deshaun's going to have to work for next year because I think they're out of contention. Bengals have been absolutely cranking it. What's up?
Yeah.
Had to be in the last 50 minutes. Why? I didn't know he threw up. Cooper, did you throw up? What'd you throw up for? Did he throw up something or just threw up? Well, he didn't eat except this morning. Since he's been cooking, Joe Burrow, other than the first 2 games, has been, I mean, he's been an animal, right?
The Browns are about to run into a buzzsaw.
Yeah. Joe Mixon still looks like he's going to finish RB3, 4 maybe. Chubb looks like he's okay still. I mean, he's getting the volume. I would take all 3 Bengals receivers plus Hurst as well. And then
give me Harrison Bryant too in the place of Njoku. On a defense you could throw to the tight end.
I like Amari Cooper as well.
Yeah, this would maybe be the one game that I don't like Chubb because I think they might
be throwing the whole game.
Wait, is it trade deadline Wednesday? Tomorrow?
For actual NFL?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would be interested to know what the price for Kareem Hunt was.
Probably a third.
Because
third? He's gotta be a third.
He like 4 touches in this last game.
It was a touchdown though.
One was a touchdown, right? Yeah, you know the least amount of touches all year, and he gets a touchdown.
It's got to be a.
Yeah, I thought the Jets would go after him when Breece Hall went down.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, okay, but if I offered you, James Robinson for a 6 or Kareem Hunt for a 4th, you're going to take the 6, and I think they're pretty decently interchangeable. James Robinson's a good running back.
He is, but he's coming off of he still has that injury history.
That's true, but we did get to see 4 straight weeks of him being an RB1, and
well, the Jets are 5-2 or 4-2, whatever it is, and they play in New York. So I mean, I thought that they would try and swing big on Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. I just think the value.
I don't hate the move they made. I thought that's where he was going.
Yes, and I'm shocked that the Browns aren't moving him with his contract expiring.
Yeah,
if they were 5-1 or whatever, that would be different. But they're 2-5.
2-5, yeah.
I don't know. To me, if you can get something for him, get it
Something's
now.
better than nothing.
Maybe something will break last minute.
Yeah.
That if anybody else gets traded, he would be my guess on who does.
I would, if I had to pick somebody, I think it might be DJ Moore. But I think there's a rare chance for that.
I think there would be a better chance for Hunt because with DJ Moore, you want him there for whoever they pick at quarterback. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did.
I could see it either way. I'm just saying, like I would want Moore there for the next guy.
Yeah.
Especially because he's still young too.
I can see it. So, all right, boys. We'll catch you next time. Did you do any bets, Juice?
Yeah, I did undefeated when doing the Jets this year, so I'm gonna do Jets +2 as the lock of the week. Titans -2, 49ers -1.5, Vikings -4, Giants Seahawks over 44.5.
I like it. All right, gentlemen. I'll catch you guys later.
See you guys.